What is going on, fam? I hope you're having a great day. Real quick, big shout out to everyone who has subscribed. It really means a lot to me, and I'll keep trying my best to make fun videos for you. Stay tuned until the end because I have something you guys might be interested in, which is of course available to everyone else as well. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to share a theory I've been working on that fully explains the mystery of why Halo Infinite seems to be like the least advertised Halo game ever. Like, why is there such a content drought for this game? So I think because of my background, I can offer a pretty unique take here that I haven't really heard anywhere else. So what I did for this theory was very simple. I used all the publicly available facts about Halo Infinite to get into the mindset Microsoft is most likely using for the marketing of this game and to figure out what their strategy is, right? Because the question of why is there a content drought for Halo Infinite is also a marketing question. It's pretty simple. Like, if you want to understand the marketing behind a product, which in this case is of course Halo Infinite, you start by analyzing precisely what kind of product it is that you're dealing with, right? So that's where this theory begins, and I'm gonna walk you through everything, which I think will be fun because I basically pretended that I was a Microsoft executive in charge of like everything, you know, in terms of like the making and the marketing for Halo Infinite. And just like after I kind of like tried to role play this role, like everything kind of makes sense. That's all I'll say. So now I'm a Microsoft executive. Poof, right? So we just got to go along with it, right? So first, what am I gonna do, right? I'm gonna take a look at the facts about Halo. So when I look at Halo, I would say, you know, all right, it's like a 20-year-old franchise, and it's pretty much at its lowest point ever. We have to admit that. You know, Halo has really never been in this bad of a state since Halo 1. Like, seriously. You know, the hype around Halo just kept building after Halo 1, right? Halo 1 came out, you know, very successful game. People loved it. And then, you know, Halo 2 comes out, even more popular. It basically like builds the infrastructure for online gaming. You know, a lot of online games now copy a lot of stuff from Halo 2. Huge game. That was the first game I ever played online, personally, at least on a console, you know. But, you know, around Halo 4, man, it's kind of been downhill since then in terms of like popularity, right? We had Halo 4, then we had the Master Chief Collection, which was like the most failed launch ever, you know, and then Halo 5 just pretty much did the series in. So if I'm Microsoft executive, I see that the Halo franchise right now is really like in serious trouble, you know. Meanwhile, gaming just in general as a whole is more popular than it's ever been, right? And it just keeps growing. Like, you can just look up articles, like gaming is just it's bigger than it's ever been, you know. So if I'm the Microsoft executive, I see Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, Apex, Valorant, even GTA 5 recently. All these games are more popular than ever. They have tens of millions of monthly active users, you know, collectively. And that's just like console, right? Like, if you add PC in there, we're talking tens of millions of people playing video games every month, you know, especially like shooters. And where's Halo at? You know? It's not good, man. The state of the franchise is not good. So again, what does the Microsoft executive think? What's the only thing you could be thinking if you're playing Microsoft executive? How can we get in on all this action with a new Halo game, right? All these tens of millions of people playing Fortnite, Warzone, Apex, all that. How do we get in there? Or in other words, what is the Halo product we can make that has the best chance of making us the most money, right? So if we just make a typical sequel like we've been doing, a Halo 6, that's just gonna sell to the existing fan base just like Halo 5, right? If you make a Halo 6, it's just you're just doing Halo 5 all over again. So instead of doing that again, we need to reach these millions of kids that don't even know anything about Halo, right? Because this market of people playing these very popular games, that's where the money is. This is Microsoft. This is a business, right? This isn't just like for fun. This isn't, oh, you know, the fans and everything. This is how do we make the most money? Remember, Microsoft, we're playing Microsoft Executive. They're just thinking about the money, you know? Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So we need a game that appeals to the masses, but that we can also still sell to the existing fans, because we do still have a good amount of existing fans, you know? So our only real option here is a reboot. So let's pause for a second. Quick fact check. 343 themselves have stated that Halo Infinite is a spiritual reboot, right? And some people are saying, oh, well, it's not a reboot, it's a sequel. Bro, they're calling it a reboot regardless. A spiritual reboot is still a reboot. Yes, Halo Infinite will be continuing Halo 5's story, but you can't argue against the fact that the word reboot is right there, you know? So I don't know what else to tell you, because 343 is saying this is a reboot game, okay? So far, what we're theorizing by playing Microsoft Executive lines up perfectly with the facts, right? That it's a, you know, they're gonna make a reboot. So let's continue. So now as Microsoft Executive, I'm thinking that a reboot sounds perfect. A reboot is the best product because people new to Halo can jump right in, right? And then the existing fans, well, we'll talk about that in a bit. So all I need to do now is just gather some more facts from 343, since, you know, they make the Halo games. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call up the head of 343 and ask them what game was the most popular, right? Of all the Halo games, which one was the most popular? Because if I'm going to do a reboot, it only makes sense to use what was popular. All right, so now I'm going to play you a clip of Bonnie Ross. She is the head of 343, okay? And we just asked her, which Halo game is the most popular?
I think for most people, Halo 1 is the quintessential Halo. Not only did Bungie nail the control for
most
an FPS
people
on the console, but they also told story in the most compelling way that it's ever been told in an FPS at that time.
Great, so now all I need to know is if Halo 1 would be a good source to use as the focus for this reboot. So now I just need to talk to more people and see what they say. This next clip is from a 343 team member, Dan, I don't even know how to say that last name, executive producer. So what does he think about Halo 1? This clip is from the making of Halo 1.
Heard to us that there's this entire generation of people who never played the original game. If you're an 18-year-old gamer today, you were 8 when Halo came out.
That sounds perfect. So he's music to my ears, right? He's telling me that most people have never played Halo 1, especially this younger crowd, you know, these Fortnite, Call of Duty kids that we're trying to sell this game to, this reboot to. But just because people haven't played it, is it still good for a reboot? I still need to talk to someone else. So let's talk to this guy over here, Greg Herman, development lead. What do you think about Halo 1?
You were hit with all this great fiction that you could really kind of delve into and try to understand more about. At the same time, you could just pick it up and play.
Pick it up and play. I mean, this is just like music to my ears right now. This is like the most perfect thing ever, right? That's what we need. We need a game people can just pick up and play. Maybe we really are in a simulation, because this is lining up perfectly as Microsoft executive with my plans to make a reboot. Let's talk to one more person. Let's see who else on the team, the Microsoft team, what they think about Halo 1.
Halo was the beginning of me playing console games with my friends, and that's still how I always
Phil
think
Spencer.
about it.
Wow, so even Phil Spencer, head of Microsoft division, loves Halo 1. Halo 1's perfect. We even have another Microsoft executive right on board with us. Hey, wait a second. All right, so we're doing a reboot, and we'll focus on Halo 1 since it's the perfect game to reboot in some form. So Halo 1, you know, it begins in the middle of a story, but it does so in a way that anyone can play it, right? You can just come into the story that's already ongoing and it still makes sense. Perfect, Halo 1 sounds great. So now, a Microsoft executive, I need someone skilled at doing reboot style games, because 343 has only made sequels up until this point. So I need someone, you know, I can trust as well, because this is 343 we're talking about, the people who did MCC. So in comes Paul Crocker, who is in fact currently the narrative director at 343 working on Halo Infinite.
Hi, my name is Paul Crocker. I'm lead narrative designer at Rocksteady Studios.
So Paul Crocker was also the lead story guy, lead narrative director who worked on the Batman Arkham Asylum games. And I've heard nothing but good things about those games. You know, I didn't get to play them myself, but you know, you can just add. I just added those to the list of things that have been recommended to me by family and friends that you know you just don't get around to. But this is perfect, right? I mean, he knows how to work within an existing franchise, Batman, and basically make a reboot game. But let's hear a little bit from Paul Crocker from an interview. This is a short clip.
What do you do?
Well, I guess I'm part of the design team. You know, my main responsibilities are kind of the story, characterization, how we make sure we don't deviate from the brand.
The brand.
Working really closely with the game director, working really closely with DC.
Working closely with DC.
I guess in a dream job.
Perfect. So he loves his job, and he's gonna listen to me. He's gonna listen to what I say. Remember, I'm Microsoft executive. I hire him because he's perfect. He's perfect to make a reboot game, and he gets it, right? Like, he's gonna listen to me. I'm gonna have creative control over this and make sure that this game doesn't flop and the Halo series goes down in flames. So Paul Crocker, he's perfect, but he's gonna need a little bit of help because he's been making Batman games, right? So we need someone in 343 that loves Halo 1 to give him a little bit of help. In comes Dan Chosich, aka Rob from my other video, who is in fact the narrative experience director at 343 Industries. Obviously, he's working with Paul Crocker. This is a quick clip of Mr. Dan speaking, just in case you didn't see my other video.
As we stated earlier, I'm a longtime Halo fan. I got into this community at a really young age.
Perfect. So we got some great people working on this reboot game. All right, fam. Now that we are fully functioning as a Microsoft executive and we know exactly what kind of product we are trying to sell here based off of the facts, we can finally answer the question of why is there a content drought? Now, let me warn you now that this is the part where things are about to get a little dark. I'm going to go ahead and just issue a warning right here before going further, because this next part might sting a little bit. Please just understand, I'm just theorizing here, right? And under this theory, I am also included in this part that's going to sting, okay? All right, so with that said, back to being a Microsoft executive. So I need to create a marketing plan for Halo Infinite. Marketing costs money, so I need to be efficient and effective. So the main question I need to answer first is, who is my customer? Who am I trying to sell this game to? Well, I already kind of figured that out after I looked at the facts and decided that I need to make a reboot. Of course, I'm trying to sell this game, you know, to the existing fans, but I'm mainly trying to reach this giant sea of like Fortnite players, Call of Duty players, Apex, you know, all those kids that have never played Halo or just know little about Halo. So what that means is that even if I got all the remaining fans, you know, basically like the people who bought Halo 5, that's gonna pale in comparison to reaching like this mass of players, this tens of millions of players. So I'm gonna ask myself, is there really any trailer that I can make that's gonna get these kids and the masses interested in Halo? You know, a franchise that is on the outs, essentially. That seems like a pretty expensive long shot. You know, I'm gonna make some trailers, right? Because I gotta give the existing fans something. But that's not gonna get, you know, this mass of kids. That these people that aren't currently interested in Halo. But what will definitely get their attention is all those streamers out there, right? So I should look for sure into that. But as far as trailers go, we're just gonna go light on those and divert money into, you know, paying these streamers to promote the game, right? And cut, right? So fam, to conclude this, we don't need to play Microsoft executive anymore, okay? Now, when I was explaining all that right there, some of you might have had the aha moment. So just in case you didn't have the aha moment, I'm just gonna give it to you bluntly. We don't matter. We don't matter. That's why there's a content drought. That's why it feels like they're kind of ignoring the community's calls for something, right? Like anything. We're like, give us anything. Can we just get like a screenshot? Anything. Like when you look at it from a numbers perspective, from a marketing perspective, we don't matter. We don't matter. From a numbers perspective, you know, the current Halo community, what's left of it, we don't even come close to making up a significant portion of who they're trying to sell this game to. They are trying to market this game to the tens of millions of people, right, who are playing all these very popular shooter games. Okay? So, like, how many people do you realistically think are left in the Halo community? Personally, to me, from what I can see, it looks like maybe 100 to 200,000. Like, at most. And that's, like, being generous. Even if you said 1 million people, you know, are still active in the Halo community, which I don't see, you know, at all. But I'll just give you 1 million. That million is still tiny compared to this mass market of people they're trying to sell Infinite to. You know? That's why, if you're watching this video, if you're like me, if you're what's left of the Halo community, we don't matter. On top of that, they already know the existing fan base, us. We're gonna buy the game no matter what. So, like, on what planet do you spend a ton of money making trailers, you know, doing a whole expensive marketing campaign, you know, doing appearances? Why would you do all of that for people who are gonna buy the game no matter what? They don't need to sell the game to us. They need to sell the game to the people they don't know are gonna buy. This mass of people. That's who they need to sell the game to. So why is there a content drought? Because that's how they planned it. Everything is going according to plan. They're just gonna do the minimum, which is just some trailers. That's why all we've gotten is just a couple of trailers, right? Now, I'm not saying they're not gonna market the game. They're definitely gonna market the game. But like I said in my last video, the marketing is more likely to be with all these streamers that they've paid millions of dollars, like Ninja, right? Those people are the marketing. That's why they don't have money for a ton of trailers and other things, because they already spent it all on, like, Ninja and Shroud, right? And then on top of all of this, what else is true about the Halo community? It honestly, let's be honest, it is fractured and damaged, right? It's fractured and damaged because of 343. Right? 343 decided to totally change up Halo with Halo 5, which is okay, whatever, they did that, you know, they took some risk and stuff. But now you've got people who like how Halo 5 is. You know, you might not like Halo 5, but a lot of people out there still play Halo 5, you know. So you got all the people who like that game, and then you got the people who want more of a classic game without things like sprint. So what does that mean? No matter what, of the existing Halo community, someone's going to be unhappy with Halo Infinite, right? Like, that's for sure. There's people for sprint and there's people against sprint. But for Halo Infinite, it's either going to have sprint or it's not. So one of the two groups, one of the two teams, they're going to be upset. 100% guaranteed. You know? And you combine that, so it's guaranteed that people are going to be upset. You combine that with the fact that people are just looking for any excuse to go after 343 because they've been burned by 343, you know, with the Master Chief Collection. And now look at how Master Chief Collection is launching on PC. It's like doing terribly. Like, Halo 2 has got bugs like you've never even seen. Like, you're looking at the bugs in Halo 2 PC and you're like, I don't even, like, how that even makes no sense, dude. If you don't know about that, I'm seeing these clips where people take a shotgun and just aim down and just shoot, and then, like, it just auto aims and kills the other team. It's like, or betrays your teammate. It's just like, what? So people are just ready to go after 343. And when we finally get a glimpse at Halo Infinite, 100% guarantee that of the existing community, people are going to be upset. You know, so the more you market the game and show it off, the more, you know, you could have like this uprising before the game even comes out. All right, so that's my theory, fam, which is basically that the content drought is by design. And it all comes down to numbers. You have to look at it from a business perspective, right? From a marketing perspective. It's just numbers. There's just not a lot of people who are still active in the Halo community. Okay. All right. So look, if this theory is right, I think a lot of people within the community right now, I think they're going to be pretty disappointed in July right? Because at this point, I think they're going to give us just the bare minimum. It's just going to be like a trailer that showcases, you know, maybe some areas in campaign, and then some just like aerial views of the multiplayer, kind of like how they did with Halo 5, you know? I'm honestly not even sure if they're going to show actual gameplay, like first person gameplay, but we'll see. We'll see. Hey, I hope you have enjoyed. If you have watched this far, I hope you can give me a sub and a like on this video. It really means a lot to me, and it lets me know if I'm making good videos. Also, check the description below, because that thing I had said you might be interested in, you know, at the start of this video, it's that I set up a little Discord group for a clan I'm forming. The main focus right now, just for this clan, is that I just want to make it a place where you can find some chill people to game with, you know, when you're looking for someone to game with. And one of the main things we'll be doing really is just like filtering out anyone who's not chill, you know. So hey, join up if that sounds fun to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to y'all later. Peace.